welcome to Beyond Transcendence with Andrew. I'm your host, Andrew Wilson. On today's show, I have Aisha Makara. Aisha's objective is to inspire and motivate, empower audience to live and breathe in their creative energy, to take risks and be brave in their endeavors with the ability to reinvent themselves multiple times. That nothing in life is granted or given, so they must go out and carve a path for themselves. To think of success as not only obtaining a position of power or financial strength, but to also see it as bringing color to life and creating a beautiful world with their own identity. Please welcome Aisha Makara. Welcome to my show, Aisha.
Hey, Andrew.
So tell me about your journey. What brought you to spirituality?
You know what? I feel like spirituality was a big part of my life since I was born because many things I was very connected to the nature, and I'm the tree hugger. That's one and trees always like kind of like a talk to me since I'm a kid, and I feel like everything in the universe or like in the planet Earth is connected somehow. I don't know like the way it connected. I just know it's connected, and I just know like we have our soul journey, and when we living our soul journey, we started to connect with other souls who's living their soul journey as well, and we kind of like getting more. We somehow interconnected, and slowly in this lifetime we started to connect it with each other and create a new, I would say, new earth, because I believe like 1,000 years ago or whatever 10,000, time doesn't exist. We just creating time or that to kind of like explain ourselves some things. In the reality, I don't think that time exists. It's everything is just now. Even you're saying, oh, tomorrow or yesterday, we're always living in now. So it's now, tomorrow, it's no like next year, it's not yesterday, it's just here and now. So for me, like it's I always telling to the people that we're living in now. It's your thoughts, it's always somewhere. And when you're really focusing on what's around you and being a great observer of everything around you, so we started to create absolutely anything. We can understand why we want to create these things. For example, when I moved to Miami some years ago, like right before COVID, I didn't know that COVID is going to happen. And I have this very clear idea of me being an artist in Art Basel. And I decided Art Basel in Miami. And I decided to move to Miami because I felt like that's the place for me to do it, because I will, be more closer to the art community there and organize more things connected to art. And what happened is it started to roll like a move towards that direction in such an easy way. Of course, it didn't happen 2020 because of the COVID, and the 2021 and Art Basel, and I ended up on a different projects that I was doing for Art Basel. And so I believe, when we put some goals or some dreams that we have the idea of ourselves. Of course, in my mind that time, 5 years ago, I had the pictures. Every time when I was creating something or I want something, I create a picture of it the way I am, or like a kind of like a, the picture that I get attached to. And now I'm living in the world that I would say I create a new world that I don't attach anymore. I know that I can do that. I know I'm capable of doing it. I just don't have anymore this picture or this attachment like I had before. Because what happened before, I was always being attached. I want to have it as my picture that I picture for myself. And if it doesn't work the way I want, I getting disappointed, I getting upset, I started to punish myself or like beat myself up. And I started to work like more harder towards that until I'm getting that picture that I picturing for myself. And it's I started to kind of like realizing that doesn't matter. The matter that I achieve that goal, the matter that I can work better and create better reality from that from what I created already. Started to work and make it more better, more beautiful, more colorful, and that's started to be more interesting for me, understanding that all my dreams I imagined for myself as real. I can create them, I can make them real. And by being attached to them, it's the other, kind of like a conversation. By being a creator, I feel like in spirituality, we're all creators and we can create absolutely any reality we want. What we can do is be intentional about that. And people, like, they want things. The things is they don't willing to create action towards what they want. Many times they just stuck in their reality, or like feeling sorry about themselves, or saying, oh, I have my friends, I have my family, I have what I'm going to do with my, cat or dog, whatever. If I'm going, I want to travel, but the thing is I have my cat, I have my dog, I have my parents who's a little bit not feeling well. It's always like kind of coming with these excuses of not doing your dream or not creating the reality that you want to create. And you have one life, you have opportunity to create absolutely anything now. And I feel like every time when I have a dreams, it's like was connected mostly like about myself, me, myself, and I. Kind of like I'm self-centered, and I feel like now when I'm dreaming bigger and when I have a bigger dream, so I get to include other people in who wants to have the same things. And the funny things about the including other people in the dream, or like living the soul purpose. I know that I'm living my soul journey since like very early age, and but I was just living for myself somehow because my background, I was like I didn't have this experience of parents, so I was living kind of like me, myself, and I. Of course, it was not easy because of like I want to have parents. I want to like as many kids, you kind of going through this experience of not being loved and don't know what love is. So it's also kind of like, you get to create the idea of love. You get to create this like, what's joy for me? What love for me? What happiness for me? So I started to kind of like think about that in very early age. I do my journaling since I started to write, and I'm journaling. I'm my best friend of my life. So I look at myself. I'm my best friend. So I know myself better than anyone else. Of course, my friends can say something because of my behavior or like the way I am. In reality, I'm the one who's going to make the final decision about something, whatever I want to do in my life. So for me, spirituality is living a life that we create for ourselves, that living the life that we imagine for ourselves. Because this life, nobody will live for us. We get to do that. We empower to do that. So not looking for anyone else, just, be your own example, like have the idea of your higher self, or like the picture of who you want to be, or what skills you want to add, and every time improve. Now, for example, sailing, getting more like hours on sailing because my next dream, my big dream, I want to sail around the world with a team of people who wants to do the same things. Of course, I'm not doing it today. I'm planning to do it later in my life when I'm older. The thing is like I believe we have time for absolutely anything. The thing is we get to kind of like build up the skill slowly towards something we want to do, because it's not going to happen just like happen. Yes, you can just go and be the crew right now, going to travel if you want to, and just get the skills on the way. The thing is, for example, I decided I've been like this for like a few months and I didn't like it, the experiences. And I decided like I want to do it in my own kind of way I see it, and because I have like this clear pictures of way I want to do that. When I don't mind to learn from others and go there and experience things and and like just observe and be there in that space. I'm open enough to like go and explore, let's say. So yeah, it's always exploration, improvement, being curious, the big part of it. Of course, it's always work in progress and big trust on your own journey that you deserve it. And you have absolutely everything to live what you imagine for yourself to do or to live.
Very powerful, very empowering. Yes, I love it. I just felt your energy and it was just so warm and it was like a blanket wrapping around me. It was amazing. Yeah, no, it's funny you mentioned that because I myself am going down a journey too. I left my job only because my mother was so kind as to leave me an inheritance, even though it was because of her passing. But I know she's always with me, she's never gone. So I started this podcast. I also started kind of like doing online content, and I started to write a book, and I journal as well. And yeah, it's funny what you create. And my life coach is like, only you are the obstacle. If you can get past you, you can get past anything.
Yes.
So I'm learning to get past me, and I'm just going with it and getting into that flow state, like Neville Goddard says, and just practicing every day meditation and training hard in the gym just to get some results, and just building a beautiful life with my fiance, and just wonderful feeling, just knowing how wonderful spirituality and how much it can just open your horizon and just let it be. And like the other day, I was in public, and I'm an empath, so I feel everything. So I always get anxious, I always get anxiety. But for the first moment in my life, I couldn't hear a single thing. It was like everything was still, everything was quiet. People were talking, but they were at a lower level. And it was the most amazing thing I have ever experienced. And I've gone out in public since then, and I still have that feeling everywhere I go.
Awesome. Because I feel like for me, I'm empath as well. And for me, like I started to create the boundaries. I work on my boundaries, and like more I'm working on my boundaries, the less I feel like anxiety and like feeling other people. And when I'm in a big crowd, I'm feeling the same. I'm like very overwhelmed, and I'm feeling like, oh my gosh, just so much feeling, so many emotions, so many things. And now by creating and working on my boundaries, I don't feel like I don't need to care what's around me, because I'm like in my own protective bubble that I enjoy to be in, and I'm very happy to be in that bubble. And I'm always smiling. I always smile. And at the same time, like before people ask me like, why you smile all the time? I said like, why not? Like, why not to smile? Life is amazing. I'm alive. It's already, a big achievement. I'm here in this amazing place that we call planet Earth, and I'm doing my best, what I believe in, and I believe everyone doing their best from own idea of the best that they have, and the picture of life that they have in their from their perspective of whatever they're living and the reality that they're creating. I feel like everyone want to have peace and happiness and joy, and the things is we get to work on that. We get to understand what peace for me, joy for me, what happiness for me, what family for me. Each word you get to be intentional and practice it, not just like being in this very fast paced world. Understand that we are the creators. I'm capable to stay calm and relax and believing that I can achieve absolutely anything. It doesn't matter if I have a minus in my account right now or I'm on the street right now. It doesn't matter. Matter that I still believe in myself, and I know that I'm capable of absolutely anything in this lifetime. Yes, today is a day that I may be in the street. At the same time, don't lose the hope, don't lose the faith in you. That's very important. And I feel like many people, when they're meeting or facing the issues in their life, especially like economical issues or losing the house or something like that, many of them, they cannot recover. Even so, we're living in a society where we have absolutely all the tools to recover again and actually be better. The things is, and getting necessary help, and yes, you get to go through the process, and you get to commit to that process. When you fail and you cannot like work by yourself, you get to go and ask for support, and that's not easy, and be vulnerable. Vulnerability, it's not easy to access for many people. And the funny things, like people don't understand when they're vulnerable. I actually like to be vulnerable. I started to enjoy my vulnerability, and I just really see who people are when I'm vulnerable. And that's like, in the beginning I was so scared of vulnerability, and now I'm like, whatever, it's all good. I like to be who I am, the way I am, and ask for support for me. Like when you're telling me like 2 years ago that I will ask for support, being completely independent all the time, taking care of myself like in my own way, in my own pace, in my own, like speed. So for me, like when the I would say the breakdown happened in my life, the major breakdown. where I get to go and ask for support when I didn't have nothing, nothing. And we end up in the street, and I feeling like that was a moment of my life where I learned about vulnerability. That I get to face the vulnerability. I get to face understand what support means. I always support other people with whatever I can, and here I am. I need a support, and I get to ask the support. It was not easy. It was so challenging to do that. And I remember I was feeling so embarrassed, and I'm feeling so like shame, and I have this all these feelings of that I'm like 30 years old, and I cannot like even access this like facing these things, because I always strong, I always successful, I always like do the things in my own way, travel, do whatever I want, and here I am get to ask for support. So like when you're going through this process of accepting, really accepting from your heart, that what transformation is happening, or when we understand how powerful we are, how powerful vulnerability is, and how many people actually showing up for you who they really are. And that's the beauty of seeing who people are actually by being vulnerable. So like for me, vulnerability, it's seeing who is who in more clear way when I'm vulnerable to express myself in the area of whatever I'm curious about, or I'm scary about, or I don't have enough knowledge, and I'm going to ask for that knowledge. For me to access vulnerability was a very big deal, and in some point now I'm already kind of like, I call it like more flow. I'm in the flow of life, and I don't have any, I would say I don't have any fear anymore, because I'm like, it doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter. Like, I'm still here. This is what matters. But when I'm not here, it doesn't matter anymore. Now I always have a situation, and I always look for the solution. I'm very solution oriented. I will not looking for the problems and feeling victim or being victim. I always look at myself as a winner. Yes, I have a situation right now. The situation is not easy to solve, and I believe I'm not alone. Many people are going through the situation, and some of them work through this, some of them maybe not. The reality is I can go and work through this, and I don't know how it's going to happen. I don't know when it's going to happen. I just know that it's going to happen because I'm still here, and that's my kind of like a goal. Even when you don't have energy, you don't have money, you don't have connection, you don't have anything, you don't focus on what you don't have, you focus on what you have. You have you. In this case, I would say I have me. That's already enough for do whatever I want. Yes, right now maybe I don't have enough energy to push myself to the higher level that I want to push myself. And I learn how to deal with that, because I always pushing myself. And after I break down, and after like I stand up again, I pushing, and again, like, and I said to myself, nothing more breakdowns. Please just be mindful, be gentle, learn how to flow, how to be mindful about your like body, because your body is like when you're pushing to the limits and too strong, it's natural that body getting burnt out, and it's natural that you're pushing too much, and that's you already feel it. Sometimes you do feel it, and I believe like when you like connecting with your body, you feel when you're coming to the limit. You're getting sick very easy. It's not easy for like you're getting very sometimes very serious sick. Your body telling you like stop, please, because it's too much. And this is why I started to kind of like realizing deeper when I'm like getting a little bit like flu or something. I'm like, okay, my body's right now saying something to me, because normally when I was living in Florida, for example, over 3 years, I didn't have any illness, and I feeling like, because I was living, I was listening to my body, I was living in the flow, and I was like, things of course happened, and I still like trusting to the process of life. And because we do have purpose here, because we're living in a society, and society dictate us the way we get to be, the way we get to do things, the way we, everything. And the thing is, we do have our own purpose in this life, why we're here, why planet Earth wants us here. So we get to connect deeper with our heart and listen to our heart. Don't be afraid to listen to our heart. I remember I was very scared to listen to my heart, when I was very young, because I was like, no, 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 we're doing everything like what matters. Because for me, I get to be successful, I get to make money, I get to do this, like very, like always go, 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 not listening to the heart because it's not allowed. And later in life, I learned that it's very important to listen to your heart because that's where the transformation is again happening in our heart and in our body. And that's why I trust that now I'm living with my heart. And it's no like anymore this go, go, go. If I want to like just relax and do nothing for days, I just do nothing because I don't feel socializing myself. I don't feel like to do things. And, I trust that universe or God or source protect me and here to support me and do absolutely anything that I being safe. Like when I feel safe and I'm in a safe place, I know that I'm safe. And so far as I'm safe and secured and I'm developing this feeling within myself to feel safe and feel secure. So like everything is just kind of like unfolding itself. I don't need to push, be harsh on myself. I just get to be gentle and loving and caring and create this again idea of what it is to be loving and caring towards ourselves. Giving hug, giving like, yes, maybe today you sleep until 10 a.m. and the things that normally you wake up at 7 or 6, but here you are, like your body wants to sleep longer. So you get to listen to your body because sometimes because of our work, we're working so much, have all this, we don't listen anymore to our body. We're on autopilot. And that's the not good for us because that's why we have these breakdowns like later in our life because of we don't listen to that. And the body would communicate with us anyway in some point of our life. It will, you will be like, and that's painful, very painful. And the thing is, you get to go and work with that pain and work and understand that it's a part of the life. It's a part of the life that we're living. And it's a part of the life when we're losing our parents, when we're losing our grandparents, when we're maybe losing some of our family members. It's a part of the experience that we came here to live. And we have a choice to decide the way we want to take it. We want to live up for like more and be happy for these people because they want to see us happy even they're not here anymore. They do want to see us happy as possible, as joyful as possible, and do our best. So why we sad, why we're not feeling well, why we're missing them? Of course, just be grateful that they're here, they were here. We share these amazing moments together, and they're not here anymore. And still be grateful and transfer that energy, telling to yourself like, I will live extra years because my parents or my mom or my dad want to live longer and something happened, so I would live for them longer, and just do your best to live longer, take care of your body, take care of your health, take care of your thoughts. And I feel like we have that choice. We have the choice to decide the way we want to act and react to the things. We have the choice and mindfulness to decide the way we want to approach our life and the way we want to see the situation. In any situation, it's a choice to look at this like a crybaby, a drama, or look at this as a comedy, actually, like, or like some, like something like very cool. I don't know, because life is joyful itself. It's up to us to decide. Like I'm living, for example, comedy, fairy tale, adventure. That's like how I see my life. And for me, like, yes. And every time I'm reminding myself, I'm living in fairy tale. Yes, in fairy tale we have some dark moments. And general, in fairy tale, the kindness always win. The being positive and curious and naive, it's always win in the end because that's what fairy tale about, like showing us that we get to continue to be kind, even though these people can be brutal to us. You don't understand it so much. The idea of the brutality is everyone is like have this idea of the, oh my gosh, your childhood was so brutal. Yes, it was. In the same time, when you're as a child in that environment, you don't have any other uh, perspective. You're just a child. You live in that environment. You don't know that it's brutal. And you're not alone there. It's many other kids around you living the same things. When you grew up, of course, you started to understand, oh my gosh, in Norway, it's completely different. In America, it's completely different. Canada, it's completely different. So, like, you're learning it later in life. In reality, when you're there, sharing that moment and being in that moment, you don't know. That's the beauty of life, because people will say to you so many ideas and so many things are from outside. The thing is, I get to decide what I want to live while I'm here and which experiences I want to have while I'm here. Nobody else will do it for me. Everyone was, of course, want to protect you from the place of fear when you started to look at your friends and they would think, oh, you get to have a job, secure job, please, with with a health insurance, with this and this and this. Every time your friends would be like, of course, they care about you and they would say to you that. The thing is, it's up to you to decide. It's your life. It's up to me to decide. It's my life. It's not my friend's life. This is what they decide because they have a fear, because they work on their scarcity mindset, not successful and joyful mindset. When you face all your self-limited beliefs, I don't call it fear. It's just self-limited beliefs, and you get to face them because it's no limits. In reality, that's what obstacles of what I get to do. It just work with myself. It's just me and nothing else. If I'm getting over myself of whatever people telling me, and just know that I'm a powerful creator and I create absolutely anything in this lifetime. I can be with Elon Musk if I want to, or like do something with Formula One if I want to, like a partnering and doing. When I have a great idea, just right now it's so easy. Just send email, and continue to send email and continue, like do things that matters for you because you have this powerful idea or powerful thing that you have in your mind and you know that it's possible to do that. And that's what I believe. It's like right now we're living in a world of opportunities and we can create. Right now we can do absolutely anything. I can live anywhere in the world right now. It doesn't matter. I can choose myself where I want to live. It doesn't anymore like I get connected to one place. If I want, I can go and live in any country in the world and just like, have a different experiences in all of them. And the thing is, you understand you have one life and you get to decide where you want to have a base. You still can travel and explore. And you also decide you want to have family or don't want to have family. You want to have kids or don't want to have kids. It's all decisions that we get to make intentionally and take responsibility over these decisions. Because, yes, by not having kids, maybe your life in the end would be more lonely. You don't know. You don't know. But the thing is, you don't need to predict like telling, oh, if I'm going to have kids, my life will be less lonely. No, it's all about a decision and take responsibility over that decision and commit to that. That's because I decided to be a dad or I decided to be a mom, what it is to be a great dad, what it is to be a great mom for my kids, because I still get to be me and I get to have the idea of being dad or being mom, what it is for me and how I want to approach it, how I want to live it, because that's my choice. This is what I decided. It's my responsibility. Not cry about that, not being victim. Oh my gosh, I wish I wouldn't done it. You have done it. So take responsibility over that. So that's why I'm telling to the people it doesn't matter what you decided to do with your life. It matters that the way you decided to do it and the way you decided to approach it and take responsibility over your decisions that you make and say yes, I fail. Okay, move on. Don't spend so much time on victimize yourself. Move on, and as fast as you're going to move on, life continue, days is continue, and it's up to you to decide like how long you want to be sad. Sometimes your just body will be sad, some experiences that you're going through, it's not easy experiences and it's natural that your body get to um, like relax or like take some time to rebuild itself. And I'm feeling like we're pushing so much because we're living in the world where it's just getting more faster and more faster and more faster and more faster. And many times we don't need that speed. We don't. Because if I decided to be a great mom, that's my kind of goal of my life. I just get to focus on what it is to be a great mom. I don't want to focus on my professional career. I don't need to focus on my any other things. I get to just focus on this. Or if I decided to be a great wife, like what it is for me to be a great wife, I get to just focus on that. Nothing else. And people don't realize it that they want to have so many things in the lifetime and they cannot focus on one thing and understanding that this is my purpose. I decided to create, this is my purpose, so I decided to create that purpose. That's what matters for me. And many times people even don't think what it is to be a great mom. They don't. They don't even have this idea. And in the first place, sometimes I'm asking, why did you decide to do that? Oh, because I have my age, I have like a husband, and in that moment it was like kind of like time, and that's it. That's why I did it, because all my friends and everyone done it. And actually, I didn't want to do that, but I was scary to accept that and scary to face it. And that's many women do that because they're scary to actually say no, I don't want that. And that's because the society push in such a level that many times they don't have a bravery to say no. And like I meet right now, like our generation of women, like who's younger right now, like or like a little bit younger. And many of them say to me that they don't want to be parents. They don't want to bring kids to the world, for example. And I'm just asking why, and they have many different reasons. And at the same time, like it's their decision. Probably some of them will change their decision after 10 years. I don't know, because many women they change their decision when they're coming like close to 40. And because again the pressure, and many of them decided to be single moms, and because of the they're already successful, they already achieve some kind of like level of success, they're very comfortable with their life, and they say like, oh, why not to be a single mom? It's their decision again. It's like people don't realize that every time when they create something in their life, they get to take responsibility over this creation, or like their idea, the way why they created, and be intentional about that. And that's for me. I'm helping people, or I'm guiding people. I don't call like I call myself more like a guide. I'm asking these not easy questions that people don't even ask themselves. And when I was like 9 years old, I remember I was like, I was writing in my diary, what is happiness for me, and I was like writing this idea of the happiness. And I was remembering asking my school colleagues about that, like, what is happiness for you? They even didn't know. They didn't like couldn't even describe it or explain it. And I really was thinking about that. Like I feel like I'm very like thoughtful. I'm always thinking like how to improve things in this way, in this area, like why it's like this. I'm always thinking, and I'm always coming with so many ideas. And of course I don't know. And that's where I say to people, I don't know and I have ideas. That's do you have ideas? I'm always open for the ideas, and I'm always open to brainstorm and for the creative thinking, and I believe we're here to explore, to be curious, to grow, to evolve, and to improve. And I feel like people stuck sometime in their life. And if be stuck, it's okay as well. I think this is like get to grow from that after a while anyway. Or if you decided to be just in that comfort zone, don't blame anyone later in your life. And don't teach anyone either. Because we are not here to teach other people. We're here to love and to share our experiences with them while we're here, and share our support, you know. And I feel like when we have this idea of like I get to teach. No, we're not teaching. We're guiding each other because we don't know either. We have maybe a little bit of experience, but we don't know because it's their path. It's their reality. It's they filter from their reality. And what is good for me probably will be not good for you. I don't know. The thing is, like, from my own experience of life, I'm realizing what can be good for me, it's not good for other people. What is good for other people maybe not good for me. And it's okay when you understand the difference of uh, what people want in their life and why they want things. Respect that. It's simple. Like, just respect. If someone decided to live life without love and just be using the brain, it's their life. Respect that. Maybe in one, in the life one day, something will happen and they actually will realize that it's important to have love in life and be that love. For some people, everyone decided their own way of living life and creating life. It's just many of us doing it because of the society telling us to do this or that. After the school, you get to go to the university. After the university, you get to start to work, and have a kids, have a family, and that's kind of like normal process of people living life or choosing to live that life. And many of us later say, like, why did I do that? When they in their 30s or 40s, they kind of like started to realize that that was not their life. They were living someone else's life, not their own. And I feel like it's never late to realize what matters for you, each of us. It's never late. You can be 40, you can be 50, you can be 60, you can be 70. It's never late to live your dream, what you're here to live. Never late. And it's always on time. You're always
So much knowledge and wisdom. I'm so blessed to have met you, Aisha. I wish you nothing but continued success and so limited possibilities, and much love to you.
Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you for joining me on this episode of Beyond Transcendence with Andrew. I hope Aisha Makara's profound insights have inspired you as much as they have inspired me. Remember, we are all interconnected and living in the present moment, embracing vulnerability and taking responsibility for our choices. We can create a reality that aligns with our truest selves. It's never too late to pursue your dreams and live authentically. Until next time, stay true to your path and may you continue to grow and transcend in all that you do. Much love, y'all.